I have 24 hours to master a completely new art style. Okay, so right now it's 11:04 and by this time tomorrow, I have to have learned a new art style. So this is how my art style is gonna look like. Instead of going towards the more realistic side, because I'm already bad at shading as it is, I'm going to go towards the more cartoony side. And so I'm going to make the eyes bigger, and then I'm going to like make the face look rounder. And the shading is going to be way simpler than this. So yeah, this is how my arsehole is going to look like. So this is how I'd usually draw eyes. And since I'm going more towards the cartoony side, the line art's going to be way thicker. And I'm going to just make it a bit simpler. So this is how it's going to look like. And it's not that different from how I usually draw eyes, but there's a difference. These are how the rest of the features are going to look like in my hyper style. And yes, the mouth looks amazing. I know I'm so good at drawing mouths. So to use these newfounded skills that I just founded like 2 minutes ago, I'm going to try and draw my OC Riley. So my OC Riley. So I'm not going to bore you with a long description of her. So you'll see how she looks like when I actually draw and add color to her. So at first with the rough sketch, her head was as big as Megamind. It was massive. But for the style in general, I decided to like put her hair into like bigger bunches than I usually do instead of individual strands. And then I made her eyelashes like short and thick. And the line art was way thicker than I usually have line art. And guess what? I also made her eyes come in front of her hair. I know what you're thinking. Huh? But don't worry, I think I know what I'm doing. I decided to change the line art color to a kind of reddish color. And when coloring her skin, it was way simpler than how I usually color skin. And then it came to coloring the eyes and the hair. Yeah, the putting the eyes in front of the hair thing didn't really end up working. I just decided to put the entire eye, like all the coloring and stuff, in front of the hair. And that didn't work out either. So I decided to move the hair, and that took forever since I had to go on each layer and move everything and erase and redraw it. I know, I was having a horrible time. And after moving her hair and doing all those stuff, it still didn't look like it made sense. But at this point, I gave up because I didn't want to be moving it all over again. And I decided,
well, since I wanted to go towards the cartoony side, it doesn't have to make sense.
So yeah, that's how the hair and the eyes turned out looking. Anyways, it didn't take me much longer to do her hair since it was very minimal shading. And as usual, I didn't know how to shade the clothes because I didn't add folds to them because I don't know how to draw clothes. And then I added some fancy lighting. And yeah, this is the first drawing that I did in my new art style. So now I'm going to be studying backgrounds. I don't know how to draw backgrounds. This is why most of my drawings just have a plain white background or some kind of color, but I don't usually do that because it really doesn't work out. And so at first I tried winging it with a few brushes, but that didn't end up working out. So instead, I decided to take a background from Bluey and then try to kind of mimic the style that Bluey backgrounds have. It seemed that there were like little leaves sticking out of like the bushes and the trees. And I really liked that detail because it added way more depth. When I was doing this background drawing and studying, right, the room I was in was so hot. It was 30 degrees Celsius and I was still in there recording and drawing, okay? But like I was starting to feel tired. I was sweating. It was like I just wanted to get it over with, right? So this background might not be the best I could do, but it was the best I could do then. You're also getting an Ibis Paint time-lapse video because in that video my face was showing on the tablet screen and I'm not ready to show you my face yet. So yeah, this is the background that I studied in my new style. Good morning. Right now it is nearly hour 23 of this entire challenge and you're probably wondering, how did I skip from all the way from hour 5 to hour 23? Well, it's because I needed to rest, eat, and sleep because that's what a normal human needs to do. And not to mention, I couldn't draw for a good 2 hours because of technical difficulties. Now we're here. Okay, for this next drawing, I'm not going to be using my tablet, so I don't need you. I'm gonna be drawing traditionally. Wow, it's been a while since I used a sketchbook. This is going to be a test to see if I've learned the style, because if I can't draw it traditionally, that means I haven't actually learned it. But this was literally just going to be a random drawing of a human that I could think of because I didn't really have any of the colors for any of my OCs. And also, I was trying to put it in perspective. I don't think you can tell because I'm really bad at it. And I couldn't really think of a dynamic pose. So I looked for one on Pinterest and I found this one. And my little tiny brain thought, this is going to be a nice, easy pose to draw. But little did my tiny brain know, this was the hardest pose that I was ever going to do in my art career. Well, it's not a career, I'm still in school. So instead I referenced from this pose. I didn't have any skin colors at my disposal, so I just decided to use some random highlighters and Ohuhu markers to see what works. Once again, I made sure the eyelashes were short and thick. And I didn't really use that much space because I just don't know how to use the entire page, you know? So yeah, this is how the third drawing turned out looking. So it's time to go back to my comfort zone. And I only have about like half an hour, but I'm going to try to do one more piece. And so for this last piece I'm ending off with, I'm doing my other OC, Lucas. And he's the only male OC that I have because I only have 3 OCs. I was gonna draw him holding onto a branch and hanging off a tree because I just thought that'd be good, because I'm trying to put the skills I've learned to draw humans and the skills I've learned to draw backgrounds. And the anatomy in this is probably very, very questionable, but since it's a cartoon, things don't have to make sense. I like using thick line art. It's way easier to draw than using thin line art because mistakes, 1, are very visible, and 2, it's really hard to connect lines. I just love the new way that I shade eyes. It's just so cute and simple but amazing. Once again, I struggle and fail to color my clothes properly. Okay, so the 24 hours has finished, but I just want to finish this art piece because I think it will turn out really well. And so yeah, this is Lucas in my new style. So here are all the drawings that I did in the new style that I learned 24 hours ago. And I think they're pretty good. So today, you saw me learn a completely new art style in 24 hours. But in this video, I draw my worst fizz. Go check it out and see you in the next one.